Hello. So we're still in conversation with Mr. Sushil Agarwal. Let's try and understand some of the important clauses in health insurance today. So welcome back. So a recent judgment I was reading by IRDA talks about moratorium clause. So a lot of retail customers are not aware that after a certain period of time, most of their claims would be settled. So what is moratorium clause and
I think one of the best clause which is in the interest of policyholders' interest is this clause, which says that insurance company cannot reject any claim
okay?
after 8 years of subsequent renewal.
Oh,
That
okay.
means if a person has paid the premium for 8 years and renewed the policy on time for 8 years continuously, then insurance company cannot come out with a boundary line conditions, gray area, that because of this I'm going to reject the claim, right? That means the pre-stings are covered.
Okay.
That means there is no waiting periods applicable,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And insurance company cannot come back and say that now I'm going to apply that because of XYZ reason. The only reason where this clause may be disputed is in the case of misrepresentation. That means
Okay.
if intentionally declared some information which is not a fact,
Okay.
then insurance company can prove that in the court. Only that case this
All right.
can be disputed. Otherwise, all other cases, the claim will be paid after 8 years of the policy renewal.
Okay.
Because of innocence, the policyholder has not declared, it will act in their favor.
Okay.
But if insurance company can prove that it is not innocence, it is a intentional,
Okay.
that the fact has not presented properly,
Okay.
then this clause will not be helpful.
Okay. Okay.
So I personally believe that people generally pay the premium for 6 years, 3 years, 5 years, and then don't renew it, thinking that I have never utilized this
All right.
policy.
Right.
Actually, we are not taking policy for thinking that we will ever utilize this. We are taking it for future,
Right.
because in future we will not get the policy also.
Right. Right.
So my suggestion is select a policy which is not going to give you the burden of the premium in future, but at the same time covering you for the large losses. And after 8 years, you don't even have to forget. You don't even have. After 8 years, you don't even have to worry about whether the claim will be paid or not.
Okay. Okay.
So this clause is very helpful.
Largely, a claim, if at all it is rejected, would be on fraudulent grounds.
Yes.
That is the condition to watch out for. Okay. So you talked about premium, the quantum of premium as a customer ages. Will it keep changing year on year? Or?
So there are two reasons the premium will change in terms of retail policy.
Okay.
One, when insurance company sees that the age is increasing, they have decided or declared in beginning that every 5 years I'm going to change the premium.
Okay.
Some insurance companies changes every year,
Okay.
some changes every 5 years, some changes every 10 years.
Okay.
But they declare in their brochure that after this age slab, the premium will be so and so. After this age slab, the premium will be so and so.
Okay. Okay.
Second reason is they feel that medical inflation has gone so up, the current premium is not supporting.
Okay.
So they go to government, they go
Okay.
to IRDA and tell that the current premiums are not being supportive. I want to increase the premium.
Okay.
Then government will see the request. Is it appropriate? Is it right?
Okay.
And then allow them to increase the premium to certain extent.
Okay.
And then they can increase, not by their own will.
Okay. Okay.
So these are the only two reasons the
Okay.
premium will increase. The premium will not increase just because I have claimed.
Okay. 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 That is very
Yeah.
informative. Okay. Okay. So even if I have, as a retail customer, I have made a claim in a particular year, the insurer cannot increase the premium.
Neither they can reject the renewal. That means
Okay.
they have to renew it till the person is living his life.
Okay. Okay.
At any point of time, they cannot say that every year you are claiming and I'm not going to renew the policy.
Okay.
At the most, they may not remind you to renew the policy,
Okay.
assuming that you may forget to pay the premium.
All right. All right. All right.
But more than that, they cannot do it. They have to accept the premium. They have to renew the policy. once they decide to issue the policy to any policyholder
Okay.
for lifelong.
So you talked about the insurer not reminding you. So it is not obligatory on the insurer to remind.
Insurance company reminds because they want to ensure that the client is retained.
Okay.
But for those clients they don't want to retain,
Okay. Okay.
they may not like to remind. There is no obligation on them
Okay.
to send a reminder.
Okay.
But on broker it is.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Why? Because
Okay.
broker is representing the interest of the client.
All right. All right. Okay.
So the broker actually become responsible
Okay.
if they don't send a reminder
Okay.
to
Right.
the
Right.
client.
Okay. 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 So another clause that we would love to know is restoration of sum insured. So these days it seems to be a new clause that has come in, and a lot of customers ask for restoration benefit. So in terms of whether the entire sum insured is restored, and the add-on premium also seems fairly less. So should customers actually go for a restoration for the entire family? How does restoration work? So if it is a 4-member family that is covered, whether restoration will be for everyone, whether someone who's already used, there could be combinations in terms of floater.
So I'll explain you. Restoration works differently depending on how the insurance company has defined. Right?
Okay.
So normally, let's say somebody in the family went for a claim for cancer.
Okay.
So restoration may say that I'll reinstate the sum insured, but not for cancer, for any other disease.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, that means for the remaining part of the policy, the sum insured is reinstated, but not applicable for the disease for which the claim has already been taken.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So there the clause may say the sum insured will be restored for diseases other than which already claimed.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Some insurance company may allow even for the disease for which the claim has been made. That means the same person, if he is going for cancer again,
Okay. Okay.
the insurance company may say, okay, I'll allow this restoration of sum insured,
Okay.
but not for the same claim. It should be different claim.
Okay. Okay.
Right. That how do you differentiate if it is same claim or not different claim? If the claim is within the 45 days period, if two claims are within the 45 days period, it will be considered as same claim.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. If the gap is more than 45 days, it will be considered as another claim.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Now, to the second question which you have asked, whether we should go for restatement of or restoration of sum insured, I personally believe that if you have a policy which is not giving a restoration of sum insured and giving you saving of premium,
Okay.
and in that saving of premium, if you can get a super top up policy,
Okay.
so it is better to take a basic policy with super top up,
All right. All right. Okay. Okay.
which might become more wise decision compared to taking a policy with the restoration of sum insured.
Restoration. Okay. Sir, we also see a lot of organ transplant cases these days. And I was going through some literature, and it seems a little bit complex in terms of what will be covered for the donor, what will not be covered for the donor, what will be covered for the person who's taking the organ. Could you elaborate a little bit on?
Yes, you said right that organ donor cases are increasing because the technology is becoming advanced. Heart transplant, liver transplant, kidney transplant, these cases are increasing, and people are also coming forward to donate their organs because of awareness which is spread by government and people. If insurance company is saying that I'll cover the organ donor cost, it means they are intending to cover the treatment cost of the donor,
Okay.
not the cost of the organ itself.
Okay.
So because that is illegal in India, you cannot sell the organs.
Okay.
That's an illegal act.
Okay.
Right. So somebody is doing that is getting into illegal act, and insurance company cannot support that act. Right.
Okay.
So the cost of organ is illegal and that cannot be supported.
Okay.
But the treatment cost of the donor is covered into the receiver's policy if receiver policy says that I will cover the organ donor cost.
Okay.
But if let's say I'm donating my organ to someone and that person doesn't have a policy, he is a receiver of the organ and he doesn't have a policy,
Okay.
and I want to donate the policy, I want to donate my organ and I have a policy,
Okay. Okay.
and my policy says treatment cost of the donor is covered.
Okay. Okay.
But as a receiver, that means if I'm donating my organ and if his policy doesn't cover the organ donor, then even my policy will not be covering that. That means as a donor, I'm not covered in any policy.
Okay.
But as a receiver, the donor can be covered in receiver's policy.
Okay.
Is it confusing?
A little bit. What I understood was, so when the organ is being extracted, so that portion will be covered
in receiver's policy.
In the receiver's policy.
But if receiver doesn't have a policy,
then there's no coverage.
No coverage, even though the donor might be having a policy.
Okay.
Because what policy says is I am willingly donating my organ. So it's not a treatment for me. It's a voluntary decision of mine to give my organ to someone else. So my policy will not cover the voluntary decision of mine to donate my organ.
Okay.
But if the receiver's policy covers the organ donor, then my treatment is also covered in that policy.
Okay. And there are caps for this in the policy limits?
So some policy put the limits. Some policy don't put the limits. They cover up to the sum insured. Right. So that we need to check before taking policy, because the cost of this kind of treatments can go to any level.
All right.
30, 40, 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs is also normal for this kind of treatments, right?
Okay.
So again, I'll put more importance to taking a super turbo policy which covers the higher kind of losses. Okay. Because 4-5 lakhs kind of coverage for this kind of treatments is in single day it will be gone. Okay.
All right. So I think the same concept would apply to, because embryo donation is also illegal in our country. So the same concept will apply to maternity claims. If there's a lady who's voluntarily surrogacy.
So that is not covered in any policy
of
nowadays,
the policy,
right?
okay.
IVF treatments or surrogate mother and all those things are not covered in any policy.
Okay. All right. So coming to one very contentious issues, PPN network hospitals. If there's cashless available, you had mentioned the last time that you should always go for cashless. Now, PPN network is something that I understand is different for different insurers also. So how can one utilize, how does one know whether the hospital one is going to, whether it is covered or not? Say it's an emergency hospitalization, and then whether there are different packages for different insurers also. Say suppose I am insured for a particular policy with United India, and a different policy with United India, say Arogya Sanjeevani, which is a common product for all the insurers. So would there be different pricing across different hospitals?
So mostly these networks are handled by the third-party administrators, excepting some of the private insurance companies who have their own team who is doing the network and processing of claims also, right?
Okay.
So whichever hospital is not coming in network, that comes under reimbursement. That means we can go and take the reimbursement after paying the bill from our pocket. We have to get it reimbursed from the insurance company, right? Now in cashless, basically there are two type of networks.
Okay.
Now one is cashless, where the insurance company is having a tie-up through third party or without third party to pay directly, settle the bill with the hospital, and allow the claimant to take the cashless benefit. That means the money will be paid directly by insurance company to the hospital. Right. In that, there is a preferred network. That means there are some hospitals which has given a better tariff to particular insurance company. Depending on the volumes. Let's say some X insurance company is sending more business to that particular hospital. So that hospital might have given a better volume-based discount on the tariff, right? So that is between insurance company and the hospital. The
Okay.
arrangement.
Okay.
Insurance company will definitely try to bring people to the PPN network,
Okay.
and they do so by giving some discount on the premium if they opt for PPN network,
Okay. Okay.
or they give some extra coverage if they opt for PPN network.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But that is in interest of insurance company.
Okay.
As far as claimant is concerned, right, I should be worried about which hospital is good for me,
Okay.
and I should opt for that, whether it is out of PPN network or with PPN network.
Okay.
Should not bother me as
Okay.
much as I'm confident that this particular doctor or this particular hospital is very good.
Okay. Okay. All right. If we talk about pre and post hospitalization expenses, sir, so I have seen that the number of days these are covered is different for different policies. There's no standard to that, and what is covered?
Earlier it was standard like 30 and 60.
60.
What does it mean is, so pre and post means any outpatient cost
Okay.
incurred before getting into hospital.
Okay.
It could be related to doctor consultations, then diagnostic test, or maybe some medicines
Okay.
which I was required to take before I get admitted into hospital.
Okay.
And post hospitalization means after coming out of hospital, after discharging, getting discharged from the hospital, there might be some expenses again to get recovered fast.
Right.
It could be physiotherapy, it could be again consultations with the doctor, medicines.
Okay.
Right. Now all these are actually part of outpatient, which is normally not paid in any policy, outpatient.
Right.
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 But since treatment has been taken, the outpatient costs related to that treatment, 30 days before and 60 days later is covered.
Right.
And some insurance company cover for 60 days before and let's say 180 days later or 90 days later.
Right.
And some companies cover 90 days before and 180 days later.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Now what happens is during the cases of physiotherapy and all, it becomes very advantage because every day normally person has to go for physiotherapy session. Right.
True.
So, and then for a long treatment where it takes long time for a person to recover and he is taking medicines every day, even those costs can also be covered. Right. So this is a good cover.
Okay.
And if you have a more number of days
Okay.
in pre and post, it is good to have it.
But this will be possible only if
Yeah.
there's a
So
claim.
if I am taking it, if I have taken a surgery for let's say my leg,
Okay.
and I am taking let's say a headache tablet,
Okay.
so both are not related.
All right. All right.
So headache tablet will not be included in that outpatient
That
expenses. That will not be covered. But
Okay.
treatment is taken for the leg. So all the medicines, treatments, physiotherapy sessions, everything taken related to this leg is covered.
Okay. Even X-rays and tests,
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So co-payment and deductible. We've seen that these are two different aspects. There's a slight difference between this, and from a customer's point of view, if at all they have the choice, whether they should opt for a co-payment or a deductible. Any thoughts on that?
See, there is not slight difference. There are totally two different concepts,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Deductible means up to certain extent I am self-insured. That means out of 10 lakhs, I will say to insurance company that first 2 lakhs I will take care of myself. Beyond 2 lakhs, you take care of it.
Okay.
So insurance company says, okay, beyond 2 lakhs, whatever is the claim up to 10 lakhs, I'll take care. But the first
Right.
2 lakhs don't come to me.
Okay.
That is called as deductible amount, 2 lakhs,
Okay.
right? But co-payment is always mentioned in percentage.
Right.
That means for every claim, whether it is 1 rupee or 100 rupees or 10 lakh rupees, some percentage of amount I am taking care of myself.
Okay.
So if it is 20% 20% co-payment, that means 20% I will pay from my side and 80% insurance company will pay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And both concepts has a different reasons for putting it.
Okay.
So co-payment will allow the claimants to ask more questions to hospital for what the coverage has been, for what the treatment has been given, so that there is no over treatment.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So because they are asking more questions, hospital will hesitate to give over treatment.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And why they will ask more questions? Because some money is going from their pocket.
Their pocket. All right.
Right.
All right.
Deductible is for a different reason, to decrease the premium. So since I am taking the first 2 lakhs hit on myself,
All right.
so the premium will drastically decreased, and it will become viable for me to cover for higher losses.
Okay.
at a lesser premium.
All right. So deductible also will be in every claim or once?
No, that
through the
depends on
policy?
insurance company and
Okay.
policy which I have taken. So if
Okay.
I have taken a policy with zero deductible,
Okay.
that means there will not be any deductible.
Any
If I have taken a policy with zero co-payment, that
Okay.
means 100% will be paid by insurance company and nothing will be paid from my side.
Okay.
But if I have taken with 10% co-payment, maybe the premium is little decreased,
Okay.
but I will be made to pay 10% money for every claim which
Every
incurred.
All right. Last time, sir, we had talked about bank assurance products. So, of late, we are seeing a lot of product closure, especially. So, what should a retail customer who's been patronizing the policy for say 4-5